Like a lot of 16-year-olds, I used to like to spend my weekend drinking, partying and going out. Now I had heard the term gateway drug before, but I thought it was just some buzzword that old people like to use. But see, I seen firsthand that every single drug, including alcohol, is a gateway drug, and it opens the door to that next level of addiction and drug use. See, back when I first started, I said I would only drink. I would only drink. In fact, I had no intention of even smoking weed or trying any other drugs. I didn't even think about it at all. But eventually the thought came to me after I'd been partying, drinking for a while, you know what, I would try weed. I would be open to it, see what it's like, and I did. Eventually I got the chance to. I smoked weed a few times off and on, and I liked it. I had a few crazy experiences, and eventually I started smoking weed more and more and more. And that's when things started to turn. See, during this time, again, I said I would only smoke weed and drink. I would never do hard drugs. Never do any party drugs. They're terrible for you. Some druggy, junky shit. No way, that's not for me. I kept saying this to myself, over and over again. No, it wasn't like I was saying this every day and I was obsessed with this idea, but I had said this to myself a few times. But eventually, it was my time to be tested. So we were at this pool hall called Reds. My friends, they were sneaking off. I knew they were up to something. I knew that I could just tell. And I thought they were going to go get some weed behind my back and not share it with me. So eventually I went over to them and I asked him, what are you up to? What are you doing? Are you getting weed? And he's like, no, this isn't weed. This is ecstasy. The pill form of MDMA. And in that moment, you know what I said? Where can I get some? I had no thought about all the past that I've been saying, I'd never do ecstasy, I'd never do hard drugs, I'd never do party drugs. It all changed in that instant, see, because the weed and the drink was slowly but surely brainwashing me. It was changing my mind. And this kept happening again and again. I kept breaking my word. Once I'd done that, it opened the doors, so I started trying new things. Ketamine, 2CB, LSD. But there was a few things I said I would never do. Coke, for example. Because Coke, I just seen it basically like crack, because crack is just basically Coke with baking soda. So I said, no way, I'm not being a cokehead, a crack addict. So I stayed away from it. For a while I said no, but eventually, again, my mind was changed. And I was fine with it. And I took it multiple times. Now, I didn't really enjoy Coke. I didn't really do it that much. To me, it was a waste of money. But I done it. Even though I said so many times that I wouldn't do it. And again, I later broke my word. I said to myself, right, we've done a few different things, but I'm never going to do Xanax, heroin, meth, or crack. And guess what? I done Xanax. I broke my word. I had done Xanax. Now, eventually, I got sober, which I am now for about 2 years. I haven't done anything. But there's no doubt in my mind, if I'd continued down that road, I would have started taking down that list, and I would have eventually done heroin and crack and meth. I mean, it's obvious when you think about it. Nobody wakes up and just says, oh yeah, well, I'm a heroin addict now. I want to go out and do some crack. Yeah, that seems a good idea. No, this is progressive. It sneaks up on you slowly but surely. Nobody, maybe like a few handful of people in history just went out of the way and went straight to crack, straight to heroin. But for the most part, everyone just starts off drinking and then maybe a wee bit of weed. And then maybe they'll try a few different drugs, and slowly but surely that expands and expands and expands till they're full-on drug addict, doing stuff every single day, maybe even doing heroin. Because you see, life itself is progressive. When we start taking steps, when we start taking actions, that starts to lead us on a certain path. See, our habits matter so much. They define our life. Our habits, our actions are like the steps we take in life. And the more we take of that, the further we go in one direction or the other. So this can be good or bad. As I say for myself, I was taking a bad road. I didn't intend to start doing drugs every day. It got to the point where I was doing butane, which is lighter gas. Never in my life would I have thought I'd done any of that. Never in my life did I think I'd be doing drugs every single day. Especially not when I first started. Especially when I was just going out drinking. But it creeps up on you. Your brain changes right in front of your eyes. But the great thing about this is we don't have to go down that bad path. We can take positive steps every single day, like the gym, like meditation, like reading, like just getting some new skills, learning an instrument, maybe going on a hike, maybe doing some real socialization. Not this going out and calling it socializing. No, real socializing. Doing natural, normal fucking things, not escaping from the world. And actually connecting with your friends. I mean, think about it. When everybody starts anything new, they're not going to be crazy about it. You're not going to be a gym head as soon as you start. In fact, when I first started working out, I hated it. I hated working out. My dad would bring me to the gym with us and I'd be so grumpy. I'd be like, oh, Dad, can we hurry on? Can we go? Yeah, all that rubbish. But eventually something clicked. And then I started going on my own 5 days a week. But even then, I would get days where I was like, oh, I couldn't be arsed, I can't be arsed. But I still went. And again, just through time. And now I love going to the gym. I always look forward to it. Sure, there's sometimes that I'm tired and physically I don't really want to go. But mentally, I'm always ready to go to the gym because I love it. And that's what happens. All these addictions, all these habits that we're doing. Whether it be video games, sweets, movies, good habits like meditation, exercise, reading. You need to be careful about the steps you're taking, about where you're going to go. You need to decide who you want to be. Now I understand if you can do whatever you want to do. I'm just talking from my experience of what I've been through, about what I went through. Some people aren't ready to hear this. Some people aren't ready to change. Like if you told me a few years ago I should get sober, that I should start changing my life, I wouldn't have listened. I wouldn't have cared at all. I wouldn't even watch this far into the video. But you'll know if you're ready because your heart will tell you what you need to do. That's really all you need to do to get through life. Listen to your heart. It will become obvious what your next step is. It will become obvious what you need to drop. Now it might start off quiet, like a mild, like, maybe I should get sober, maybe I should start changing my life. Slowly but surely, it will get louder and louder and louder. That's what happened to me. It got so loud to the point where I couldn't ignore it. I was so depressed. I was in physical pain. I had pains all over my abdomen. I felt like my organs were dying. And then eventually, it wasn't even fun anymore. The enjoyment went out, so I had no choice. It was obvious. God was telling me I needed change. Maybe He's telling you that. Just remember, you're better than that bag. You're better than that ball.